Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and still laughing at J.D. Vance, Trump's VP pick, trying to be the man of the people, spending his first campaign stop defending Diet Mountain Dew. President Biden decided to step back and not seek re-election in an exquisitely timed post-RNC dark-branded move that has Team Trump and his supporters pouring MAGA tears. He said to think of him as a bridge, and it took a very big man to follow through with that and choose not to move forward and make way for Kamala. Biden faced heaps of mounting pressure from both parties. He's the president. He could have fobbed off them and the media. He didn't have to do this, but he did. And his selflessness and pursuit of the greater good is one of the many reasons Biden's a fantastic president and the guy that stopped Trump's second term. Kamala had the best 24 hours in grassroots fundraising in history, while Trump is scrambling to sell products branded with his outdoor ear piercing while going into a total meltdown that is just wonderful to watch. Lauren Boebert is posting photos of her with a cardboard cutout of Harris at the border. What are you doing? I mean, she continues to blame migrants for every crime while her family racks up the arrests, with her teen dad's son Tyler back in court later this week facing 22 charges, including several felony charges for criminal possession of ID documents. I'll be going with the prosecutor versus the ones being prosecuted, with a fun look at Kamala driving them mad, ripping through right-wing lunacy, and weighing in with some laughs, starting with this.
It is the weirdest thing to me. Democrats say that it is racist to believe, well, they say it's racist to do anything. I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday and one today. I'm sure they're going to call that racist too, but it's good. I love you guys. But
the energy in that room, it's just magnetic. Nobody's going to call you racist for having a can of Diet Mountain Dew, unless Trump is trying to drink one through Fred Trump's old outfit. Of all the sodas you could choose from to connect with voters, you went with Diet Mountain Dew, this aspartame caffeine bomb that's only going to connect with the Matt Gaetz dating demographic. It is on point for JD to be in Ohio, his home state, and the home state of the historic Coca-Cola bottling plant, hyping a Pepsi product. But his commitment to yellow fluids is just another way he's trying to relate to Diaper Dawn. Thanks for taking in this bald comedian's take on things. Please join the best subscribers on YouTube while I blast the latest and stupid and more.
So there's this rumor going around about J.D. Vance getting cozy with an old couch and a latex glove, which only means we will see supporters at our huge rallies with soiled cushions and latex duct taped to their misshaped heads in solidarity. I love you all.
This is really cool.
It is quite interesting to note that this will be the first White House race since 1976 without a Bush, Clinton, or Biden on the ballot. That is, of course, if Kamala makes Hillary her VP, but I think that's a long shot.
That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for one race. You know, we've endorsed Dr. Oz. We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel, and he's doing great. They're all doing good.
Yes, it's important to remember that Trump couldn't even get the name right of the guy he picked to be the next person he'll blame everything on. JD Mandel. Trump's entire angle has been Biden's age and cognitive decline. Okay, well, that's all gone, and he's not handling it well, saying how he was forced to spend money on fighting Biden and that he should be reimbursed. This guy is shaking in his fake bone spurs, and it's glorious. Trump's clown car racing team spent their energy on attack ads instead of focusing on their own plans and policy, and now they are in panic mode.
what he's saying is that we're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it?
You know, a lot of really successful people love their cats. Taylor Swift, Keisha, Kirsten Stewart, Mandy Moore, Katy Perry, Martha Stewart, Miley Cyrus, Halle Berry, Zooey Deschanel, Cameron Diaz, and many of these cat ladies also do not have kids. And although Kamala has none of her own, she's a stepmom to two and has played a major role in their lives. Stepping into that role in a blended family is not easy and takes a very level-headed person who is far from miserable. I mean, she is almost always laughing or smiling, so that's just ridiculous. And to suggest that because Kamala Harris has not given birth to children, she can't be a good president is incredibly low. But that's what they're going for. She's helping raise two. Not good enough. Had to pop them out. Quite the message they are putting out there for people who cannot have kids, who didn't want kids, those that adopted children themselves. We had our son late in life. I was nearly 40 when he was born. I am indeed the old dad at school. As a father juggling work and being a dad, I actually look at world leaders with kids like, how much time do you get with your children? Is this really worth it? I mean, I don't think I could run a nation and consider myself a family man. Vance is in favor of a national abortion ban, and his position and comments regarding women is not going to do Trump's campaign any favors since Trump struggled with suburban women voters in 2020. I called J.D. Vance months ago. Take a look. Look back in my videos, pointing out again and again that he is a major investor of Rumble, the right-wing video dumpster fire, home to Don Jr. and several others that made appearances at the RNC. J.D. has a stake in that video platform that will help them control the narrative, and Don Jr. knew this and wanted this. He pushed his father to choose J.D.
She didn't earn this. She inherited it. And Americans aren't hot on heirs. They like self-made men and women. They're brainwashing us.
These are the same people that were just worshiping all the Trumps in the royal turd box at the RNC. Donald Trump was born into an extremely wealthy family that funded him and bailed him out time after time. And financial records reveal self-made Donald received the equivalent today of at least $413 million from his father's real estate empire. His family all works for him, and they are incompetent. How Jesse can sit and say this is just ridiculous, but even more so since it's coming from the network with a bumbling father-son duo. Did Ducey earn this? I doubt it. And Jesse, just checking the notes here, but you come from the publishing dynasty behind the Saturday Evening Post and Better Homes and Gardens?
You know, as many of you know, before I was elected as vice president, before I was elected as United States Senator, I was the elected Attorney General, as I've mentioned, of California, and before that I was a courtroom prosecutor. In those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
That is worth as many viewings as possible. She absolutely destroys here, and she's just getting started. She will continue to repeat this, and the best Trump can do is make a post calling her dumb as a rock. I am really looking forward to this debate. If you love what I do here and you can afford to help out, throw me a buck with the PayPal link in the pinned comment or drop me a super thanks with this button.
They held a primary. People, they had ballots. They filled out circles. They went to the voting booths. They spent money on advertisements. And as President Trump said, the Republican Party spent tens of millions of dollars running against Joe Biden. Now they just woke up one morning and said, never mind, we're canceling the entire primary. We're getting rid of our candidate, and we're pretending the election has never even happened, and we're going to let donors handpick a new nominee?
That guy's voice is higher than Mike Lindell and Don Jr. combined. Miller is terrified. His own fake hair ran away. Donald Trump chose someone that said some very nasty things and very accurate things about him, including calling Trump America's Hitler, a villain, a douche, unfit to be president, a total fraud, noxious, I'm a never Trump guy, I never liked him, reprehensible, an idiot, a moral disaster. He encouraged the Central Park Five to take a full-page ad condemning him and joked about Trump never telling the truth. For those new to the show, I'm glad you found me. Thank you. For 2 years, I've been reading genuine pages from my special copy of Lauren Boebert's book. This is a ton of fun. I only do this once a week, and it's been pretty wild. Let's get back to it. There was a lot of banging and clanging coming from the kitchen because my man listened to me and was finally making us some grub. Sometimes I have to get tough with Jason and remind him that without me, he'd be a full-timer with his soggy baseball glove and a stick of butter. When we first started dating, I found it under the bathroom sink when I was looking for a plunger. I kept my butter in the fridge, not in a glove, but he told me he had a special way of working it in. It made him really happy. I never really thought about it until the boys got a baseball bat and I wanted to do some big-time momming and show them that bats aren't just for mailboxes and bird feeders. But when I went to get the glove from under the sink, it was gone. I confronted Jason, and he told me he kept it in his glove box, and until that moment, I did not know that the storage spot in a truck was called that to keep a man's baseball glove and a stick of Kerrygold. I liked that he was incorporation some fitness stuff into his day. He usually just spent his lunch break with a few work beers in the truck while listening to conservative talk radio and smoking. I mentioned how he threw that gift shop pen and it landed in the bar's styrofoam "Don't Tread on Me" sign. But what I didn't tell you is that it's homemade. A lot of people say I don't like the environment, but I do. I love it. God made it with his magic wand, bushy white beard, and sleigh. I stopped burning styrofoam years ago when I heard the smoke isn't the good kind. And instead of throwing it all on the side of the road when we're making a sundown trip to Jason's No Questions wood shack off the 36, I will keep a piece and craft it. You see, this wasn't something I bought on the internet. This was my boys' homeschool project using the packing from my bedroom swing. They painted it all up with a rattlesnake and we proudly perched that piece of environmental art on the bar. The thing is, I was now looking at a pen sticking out of the snake's head. Here I've been writing my manuscript with my plan to do politics using some ketchup and lipstick. I reached for it, but someone beat me to it. Mountain Dew was fascinated by this patriotic structure and began climbing the pen and spinning around it while Animal by Def Leppard played from my cracked iPhone. It took me a moment, but I realized my emotional support hamster wasn't playing here. He was communicating with Mom. Mountain Dew was using the foam "Don't Tread on Me" ornament as a stage, and the shooter's grill pen was the pole he was working. He turned it into a miniature Lady Buns, and I could not have been more prouder. It was like a fairy tale. If you've enjoyed this genuine page from Low Rent Boozeburb's book, let me know in the comments, and I'll see about reading another page sometime soon. Trump signed to fight Biden, not Kamala. This is election interference. MAGA tears. Remember what happened last time you put a woman against Donald Trump? LOL. MAGA tears. Let's be honest, the real reason Joe jumped ship is because Comer was getting close to catching Hunter and the dark money. Biden had no choice but to pull the cord and get out while he had a chance. MAGA tears. And John Jr. It is on point for JD to be. When we first started dating, Coca-Cola bottling plant hyping a Pepsi product, but his commitment to yellow fluids is just another way he's trying to relate to Diaper Dawn. I can't even get it out. A lot of people say I don't like the environment, but I do. I love it. God made it with his magic wand, bushy white beard, and sleigh. You pick Diet Mountain Dew, this aspartame caffeine bomb that's only going to connect with the Matt Gaetz dating demographic. Sometimes I have to get tough with Jason and remind him that without me, he'd be a full-timer with his soggy baseball glove and a stick of butter. He encouraged the Central Park 5 to take a full page. Sometimes I have to get tough with Jason and remind him that without me, he'd be a full-timer with his soggy baseball glove and a stick of butter. When we first started dating, I found it under the bathroom sink. This was my boys' homeschool project using the packing from my bedroom swing. I have had heaps of comments from people saying that they were automatically unsubscribed, my videos weren't in their feed, they weren't getting my notifications, and over the last few months, my views went from averaging 80 to 100,000 to 15 to 25,000, even though my analytics show viewer retention is in the top of YouTube, which is their most important metric. Help me fix this. Please make sure that you are subscribed and that you have all my notifications on. And when you finish this video, stick around, check out another one of mine, and leave a new comment. If you have time, do it again. According to David Pakman, who also had this problem, this will disrupt the algorithm that has been trying to bury liberal creators. And check out my join button that makes you a member of my channel, giving you access to a variety of unique perks while supporting this one-man show. Thanks for watching. Be cool, be kind, take care.